Quebec's 3 English language universities and the provincial government announcing this morning a major $20 million funding deal to boost French proficiency on campus. Let's get the details and then we'll head to Bishop's University for more. I'll start off with Matt Gilmour from CTV News Montreal. Was at the press conference. He's on the line. Matt, welcome back to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
What do we need to know about this $20 million deal?
Yeah, so this is $20 million in additional funding from the province per year, split between Bishop's, Concordia, and McGill, sort of based on the number of students that are eligible, or are targeted by this program. And essentially the idea is that the universities have committed to having 60% of their non-Francophone students be proficient enough, I guess level 4 is what they're looking at, which is sort of the top of the beginner level in the 12 level scheme that the government has by the end of their studies. There's not going to be like an exit exam. This is not something that students will have to pass or be proficient enough to pass in order to get their degree or anything like that. It's actually a voluntary program for the students to enter into this. But the idea is that the universities themselves are committing to bringing that number, 60% of their student population, into that level 4 understanding of French by the end. There are some penalties that are associated with this for the Montreal-based universities, McGill and Concordia, $1,500 per student if they don't reach those targets by, I think, 2028, 2029, so in a few years. Gives them a bit of a runway to sort of build up to that point. But when we sort of press them on how they would manage to know whether 60%, that 6% number is achieved or not, if they're not doing these exit exams, they sort of said, well, it's a little bit of a loose target. They're going to be working together, seeing it more as an investment in the sort of like building of the French culture within these university institutions, and that they would sort of work together to achieve that. So seems like it's a way to inject a little bit of funding into these universities and to have the universities sort of formalize an agreement, a commitment to adding a sort of French language aspect to the university experience for out-of-town and non-Francophone students.
Matt, thank you so much for providing that insight in what we learned this morning. And again, where my mind went is exactly where your mind went on how they're going to, qualify that 60% there. Thanks so much for joining us. We got to head over to Bishop's now and get some more details. Thanks so much, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
All right, from Matt Gilmour from CTV News, let's head over to Sébastien Lebel-Grenier, Principal and Vice-Chancellor of Bishop's University. He's on the line. Welcome to the program, Monsieur Lebel-Grenier.
Yes, hi, Elias. It's nice to be here.
So, yesterday on this program, we had the Premier of Quebec, Christine Frechette, with us, and that was exceptional. We don't get premiers on CJAD too often. One of the things she went out of her way to mention was the English universities in this province. She talked a lot about a new tone here. Let me ask you, if this deal this morning is part of, some new tone and some new way of collaboration between English universities and the Quebec government?
I do believe it is, and I think it's very significant. The relationship has been fairly adversarial in the last couple of years, and this really marks a departure from that and really trying to work in a collaborative stance. And objectively, I think that the Anglophone universities have always been committed to offering opportunities to their students to learn French, and for those that don't come from Quebec, to learn about Quebec culture and society. And so we feel that we're an important element in making sure that the educational offering we have in Quebec is really rich and attractive to students. So I think this collaborative tone is a significant departure from the past, and I really welcome it.
So who is doing more olive branch stuff here? Was it your side or the government side?
Well, interestingly, when the relationship soured close to 3 years ago, we had the 3 English universities had reiterated that we felt we were allies in offering more opportunity to learn French to our students, and that we should work at this collaboratively. So I think it's really a change of tone on the part of the government, and again, I think we've got to recognize that this is significant, and we're working constructively for the future.
So what changes for you and your team at Bishop's University? What are the differences, the changes you'll see to help students get that French language proficiency?
Well, significantly, this is specific funding that is allowing us to significantly increase the offering we have, both in terms of language courses, but importantly with respect to internships and student placements and cultural activities as well. So this is allowing us to increase a base that was already present, which we're already committed to, but really make it widely available to our students. So it's going to have significant impact.
And as you go forward here on this deal, and I know it depends on if it's a Montreal area university or not. Your university at Bishop's there on the metrics that will be used. How will you judge if this program's a success?
Yeah, so I guess to make it clear to everyone listening in, so Bishop's is in Sherbrooke, Quebec, right? It's a really overwhelmingly francophone region and city. And so we will not be subject to penalties if we do not reach the objective. But of course, we are committed to this, and we're going to do everything we can to be successful and to increase the level of fluency of our students. So that's really our approach here. So it really allows us to increase our efforts and increase our impact.
Tell me about the funding aspect of this cash infusion. How important was it? Does it open the door to the government listening to more demands from English universities when it comes to rectifying some of the issues of the last few years when it comes to funding?
Yeah, I do hope so. I hope that this signals a change in tone. We really think that the rich tapestry of higher learning institutions in Quebec, both Francophone and Anglophone, is really a benefit to all Quebecers. And looking specifically at non-Quebec students we have, well, bringing them in like this and providing a positive image of Quebec society is really great because, let's face it, a lot of these students will go back home, but they'll be really great ambassadors for our province if they have had a positive experience. And for those that want to stay, we want to make sure that they're prepared to integrate and to have a successful career here in Quebec.
Monsieur Lebel-Grenier, going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for hopping on with us this morning just after the announcement. It's appreciated.
It's my pleasure.
Sébastien Lebel-Grenier is Principal and Vice-Chancellor of Bishop's University.
Canadian women are looking for more out of themselves, their businesses, their elected leaders, and the world around them.
And that's why we're thrilled to introduce the Honest Talk podcast.
I'm Jennifer Stewart.
And I'm Catherine Clark. And in this podcast, we interview Canada's most inspiring women.
Entrepreneurs, artists, athletes, politicians, and newsmakers, all at different stages of their journey.
So if you're looking to connect, then we hope you'll join us.
Listen to the Honest Talk podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to your podcasts.